Well, this time of the preseason is always a bittersweet time for a lot of players across the NFL, as NFL teams have to cut their rosters from 90 to 53 players by the deadline, which is coming up later this afternoon at 4 p.m. And now the roster ahead of today is set at 72 players, with the Panthers making their first batch of roster cuts on Monday as they work to get the roster down to those 53 players. Of course, we'll get to all the moves in just a little bit. One of the more surprising ones, Jacoby Windman, has spent time on the active roster during the back half of the 2024 season. He did get starts against the Cardinals and Bucks last December, combining for 18 tackles and 1.5 sacks in those games. And Windman showed his special teams value this preseason with his huge hit and kickoff coverage in the first quarter against the Steelers last Thursday in that finale. As far as a not surprising cut, the Panthers' first real true cut came just after noon on Monday, waiving second-year quarterback Jack Plummer. And considering the preseason finale that was against Pittsburgh, that was likely the final nail in the coffin as far as his days as a Panther are concerned. Now, keep in mind, Plummer was the one handling much of the preseason game duties at quarterback, with the team keeping Bryce Young and Andy Dalton on strict pitch counts. But he could find his way back on the practice squad. If he clears waivers, teams will begin putting together those practice squads coming up on tomorrow. Here's a complete list of the players that the Panthers parted ways with on Monday. In addition to Plummer, fellow quarterback Bryce Perkins was also waived. We'll see if either signal caller lands on the practice squad. The receiver room also a little bit lighter, with 3 players at that position also waived. Undrafted rookies Kobe Hudson and Jacoby George are potential practice squad candidates as well, as is outside linebacker J.J. Weaver and safety Jack Henderson, another pair of undrafted rookies that did show flashes at times during the preseason. Well, with veteran kicker Matthew Wright being one of 18 players cut Monday, that leaves Ryan Fitzgerald as the lone kicker on the roster. However, the battle may not be over quite yet. Yes, the rookie did go 3 for 3 on field goals in the preseason with a long of 52 yards, but there's still a lot of shuffling around when it comes to how the 53-man roster will look come this afternoon's deadline. Plus, Dave Canales was rather non-committal in regards to both kickers he had on the roster following last Thursday's preseason finale.
I feel very confident in both guys, but I also know there's good kickers out there. And again, just like every other position, I think we start with the information we have, and then we got to look at the whole thing, just like we're going to do with every other position. And we've got to look at who's all out there and how do they stack up in terms of accuracy with the kicking game, field goals and PATs, and then also what guys can bring to us in the kickoff setting and all that. So that's, again, going to be a part of these conversations coming up.
And now that the preseason is over, here's what's next for your Panthers. Of course, today is NFL roster cut down day. Teams have to get down to 53 players no later than 4 p.m. Then coming up tomorrow, once everyone clears waivers, that's when you can start putting together your 17-man practice squad. And you can poach from other teams who made tough decisions, like the Panthers still have to do remaining today. And after that, we go to September 7th, the season kickoff in Jacksonville against rookie superstar Travis Hunter and those Jaguars. So, of course, we'll keep you fully monitored throughout the day and have a full recap tonight at 11 o'clock on Carolina Sports Live as far as who's still remaining on the roster and who is looking for another team in the NFL to call home. We'll have that and more tonight at 11 o'clock right here on Carolina Sports Live.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.